If I were the color blue, I'd sing sad songs for you. If I were the color yellow, I'd be a happy fellow. If I were the color red, I'd look like when I bled. And if I were the color green, I'd grow like a big string bean. If I were the color brown, I'd be like a chocolate town. Bow. Bow, wow, wow, yippee, bow. And if I were the color pink, I'd be a lemony drink. If I were the color purple, nothing would rhyme with me. Da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da. A little man with a vague beard and guys pulled at the wicket. Come inside, he said. I'll show you all we've got now. It was a size you wanted. Oh, dry colors. Well, he led to a dim alley lined with musty bins and pulled one fiercely violet and bold. A sudden tempest of mad, a shriek in sins. Scarlet screamed out above the battered gold of tins and picture frames. I held my breath until another heart and sapphire skies spread in vast quietude, serene as death, over waves like crackled turquoise, and my eyes burnt with the blinding brilliance of calm sea. We're selling that a lot, they're out cheap, said he. I love color, I love flaming reds and vivid greens and royal flaunting purples. I love the startled rose of the sun at dawn and the blazing orange of it at twilight. I love color. I love the drowsy blue of the fringed gentian and the yellow of the goldenrod and the rich sunset of the leaves that turn at autumn time. I love rainbows and prisms and the tinsel glitter of every shop window. I love color, and yet today I saw a brown little bird perched on the dull gray fence of a weed-filled city yard, and as I watched him, the little bird threw back his head defiantly almost and sang a song that was full of gray ripples and poignant sweetness and half-hidden melody. I love color. I love of crimson and azure and the glowing purity of white. And yet today I saw a living bit of brown, a vague oasis on a streak of gray that brought heaven very near to me. Have you noticed that some colors really grate upon your nerves till you feel just like the pitcher looks when he is twirling curves, trying hard to fan the batter, causing him to pound the air, feeling for the little bullet just to find it was there. Other colors set you frantic, calling back the childhood days when you cut some funny antic or engaged in childish plays. Others set the pumps a-going and the fountain of your tears starts in spite of you to flowing like it flowed in other years. But the one that really thrills your heart until you want to sing is the red which you discovered when a boy in blackbird's wing, like liquid gold, and the wheat field lies, a marvel of yellow and russet and green that ripples and runs, that floats and flies with the subtle shadows that change the sheen that play in the golden hair of a girl, a ripple of amber, a flare of light and sweeping after a curl in the hollows like swirling feet of fairy waltzers. The colors run to the western sun through the deeps of the ripening wheat, broad as the fleckless soaring sky, mysterious fair as the moonlit sea of the vast plain flames on the dazzled eye under the fierce sun's alchemy. The slow hawk stoops to his prey and the deeps, the sunflower droops to the lazy wave. The wind sleeps, then swirling and dazzling links and loops, a riotous shadow and shine, a glory of olive and amber and wine to the western sun. The colors run through the deeps of the ripening wheat. Oh, glorious land, my western land, outspread beneath the setting sun. Once more, amid your swells, I stand and cross your sod lands dry and done. I hear the jocund calls of men who sweep amen amid the ripened grain with swift stern reapers. Once again, the evening splendor floods the plain, the crickets chime, make a pauseless rhyme, and towards the sun the colors run before the wind's feet, and the wheat flushing the bosom of her swelling plains, mirrored in all her limp flowing veins, and on the sweet brows of her hills outspread, your charm to all fair colored charms is wed, royal as purple, all your oak green reins, like girlish pink and white, your birch green lanes, and with the sky's true blue, your lawns are fed. How does one color body many souls? Young cedar green laughs happy in the sun, the green of elms, a sage, a discourse outrolls, of hemlock green are plots and poisons spun, a color drama with one actor, this weaving an endless metamorphosis. People ask why I got a yellow button tattoo. My reply, what does it represent to you? It's led to stories of sunshine and tales of triumph over pain. I pause in reflection, saying I got it for the question, a pine's cup, a dark on a bronze sky, a juniper tree, a laughing to the harp of the wind, last year's oak leaves rustling, and the sky like a heart of fire burned down to those coals that have the color of fruit, cherries light, red grapes, purple as tulips in May, move mouth into lush velvet purple as the stained blackberries leave on the lips, on the hands, the purple of ripe grapes sunlit and warm as fresh flesh. Every day I will give you color like a new flower in a bud vase on your desk. Every day I will paint you as women color each other with henna on hands and on feet, red as henna, as cinnamon, as coals after the fire is banked, the cardinal and the theater, the roses tumbling on the arbor, their weight bending the wood, the red of the syrup I make from petals orange as the perfumed fruit, Hanover globes on the glossy tree, orange as pumpkins in the field, orange as butterfly weed, and the monarchs who come to eat, orange as my cat run and lift through the high grass, yellow as a goat's wise and wicked eyes, yellow as a hill as daffodils, yellow as dandelions by the highway, yellow as butter and egg yolks, yellow as a school bus stopping you, yellow as a slicker in a downpour. Here is my banquet. Here is a sing song of all the things you make me think of. Here is a pleak, praise for the height and depth of you and the width. Too. Here's my box of new crayons at your feet, green as mint, jelly green as a frog on a lily pad, twaining the green of cause lettuce upright, about to bolt into opulent towers, green as grand trees and a clear glass, green as wine bottles, blue as cornflowers, delphinums, bachelor's buttons, blue as a rocky fort, blue as Sega, blue as still water, blue as the eyes of a Siamese cat, blue as shadows on new snow, as spring Zooer sipping from a puddle on the blacktop bolt, as the midnight sky when day has gone without a trace, and we lie in each other's arms, eyes shut and fingers open, and all the colors of the world pass through our bodies like strings of fire. Colors can brighten up anything, no matter how dull and drab it is. Colors have a direct relationship with beauty, so it is no wonder why that we have so many beautiful, never-ending about so many beautiful colors in the form of poetry spoken by me. The gem for me is the ruby red, a rich clear, a light douse. It always shed. The diamond's beauty is noised abroad, but the ruby is first. And the promise of God, orange, the bright sardonyx stone will show the second color of the row, and the wondrous promise bow, a yellow with the light's own smile. The yellow burns, the poet says, and here I place its wavy orange into yellow turns green, and the clover of the meadow, and the leaves upon the tree, the ever-pleasing color of the emerald, you see. blue. Oh, blue are the skies on a clear summer day, and blue are the fairest of flowers, and blue is the turquoise, the jewel of truth that shines in the promise of ours. Indigo, a deeper blue, is the sapphire's hue, and richer this beautiful gem on heads of it has shed its light for many from many diadem of violet who we've shown 6 colors of the bow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and indigo, the color of the amethyst. The violet now completes the list. Golden yellow carpets a walkway, paler yellow pens like a canopy of autumn's leafy trees painted on trees lining the park pathway. Comes the dawn present, her rays and bands frame the coming sun's presence. Is the sky blue and the grass green? It has to be, because I've seen, but your green might be my blue. I'm sorry, that just wouldn't do. If the sky you see is my red, I think I'd lie down in bed. What if your grass is my pink? I'd have to say the world would stink. Pink grass and red sky, dear, oh dear, I'd surely die. I'm glad my blue is my blue. As far as I'm concerned, that will do. And I like my grass to green, I see, for how else could I ever be? Don't want to see through your eyes. Just might scare me up with surprise. Just beyond the sunset, someone waits for me. Just beyond the sunset lies my destiny, where the purple mountains lie in deep tranquility. There I'll find the treasure of love eternally. Just beyond the sunset waits someone so fair. Just beyond the sunset, all alone they wait there. Their hair is golden, the color of the sand. Their eyes sparkle in the night like diamonds in your hand. Just beyond the sunset lies a home for me, where the world is peaceful like a paradise should be. Just beyond the sunset, someday is where you'll find me when I am. And when I am, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. The great American yellow, she heard tales about saving grapefruit skins for cooking. She grew bright under the neon dragon of Chinatown. She made a saffron curry rice for friends. She attended the barbecue in Amarillo, Texas. She stepped around yellow piss and snow. She cut herself on a Hawaiian pineapple. She learned the name for Cynthia, where it grew. Visions of Ocher and citronella eluded he, never ending spit into thee. A handful of wolves, all cream pelts and sloping shoulders, appear with girls in red, jaws snapping like capes with silver spoons. The girls eat the air, grow teeth the size of axes. There is something you like in this dream. Grass is parting like the sea before Moses. A sense of law in the way wolves run through the hissing waver. The girls are not the wolf's dream. They vanish into feather beds when the pillow is turned over. You pull away from me as if red can lose red. We boiled over one night. The moon turned ruby. The trunk of the oak churned a crimson volcano. The Missouri River, a bleeding artery. I won't dam this up. I won't pull back. How the night draws its knees up into the sky and lets dusk red pour through. When I was young, I had a very clear point of view on things in life. I loved the fact that my face was more of an edge and more character than it did when I was in my 20s. As I got older, I saw the gray areas appear. As I got still older, I love my gray hair and wrinkles. The fact is, there are a lot of gray areas in our personality. The human nature isn't black and white, but black and gray. I never saw a purple cow. I never hoped to see one, but I can tell you anyhow, I'd rather see than be one. Out of my garden, a purple lily. Purple is divine. Purple is amazing. Purple is not exaggerating. Purple exudes a fragrance of love and peace. The low yellow, a moon above the quiet lamplit house. Blue is the color of a calm relaxation, giving one peace for quiet meditation. passion. It is also the color that denounce a desperation, a sadness, aloneness, or dire separation. Red is the color of anger and rage, caught up in a fury you cannot assuage. It is also the color that means love and lust, that leads to desire full of passion and thrust. Yellow is the color of sunshine and joy, that gives you the urge to go out and enjoy. It is the color that cowards would use when employing bravado for you to confuse. Green is the color of envy, unfair, of self-absorbed people who really don't care. It is the color where nature abounds, verdant and brilliant in all she surrounds. Brown is the color of earthy direction that gives you time for grounded inspection. It is also the color of muddied emotions that could give rise to negative notions. Gray is the color of numbness and grief that makes you doubt your own belief. It is also the color of neutral equality, not to be confused by insane frivolity. White is the color of innocence and purity, the giver of light and angelic security. Black is the color of darkness and evil and disruption and anguish and major upheaval. Purple is the color that signifies tension or moves you along to another dimension. It is also the color of spiritual protection, of high ideals and soulful perfection. Down the lanes of August and the bees upon the wing, all the worlds in color now, and all the songbirds sing. Never reds will redder be, more golden be gold. Down the lanes of August and the summer getting old. Mother Nature's brushes, now with paints, are dripping wet. Gorgeous is her canvas with the tints we can't forget. Here's a yellow wheat field, purple asters fair, riotous, the colors that she's splashing everywhere. Red the cheeks of apples and pink for peaches bloom. Redolent, the breezes with the sweetness of perfume. Everything is beauty crowned by the skies of clearest blue. Mother Earth is at her best once more for me and you. Down the lanes of August with her blossoms at her feet, rich with gold and scarlet, dripping white, dripping wet with honey sweet, rich or poor, no matter. Here are splendors spread down the lanes of August for all who wish to tread. Oh, pallid blue of yon ethereal sky, oh gold of the sunset swiftly drawn near. How soft ye meet and blend the atmosphere. Still birds bids your sweet opposing tints ally to create emeralds as pure and high to the delicate new tone so elfin clear from both resulted that we strain to hear in color music. Painters who describe its fair gradations amuse in wonderment. So love thy soul with silent spirit touch reacts on mine. Thy golden calm content soothes its low stir, a quiver over much 'tis a warmth and light as though some firebird flew into its deeps of meditative blue. A hue never shall a young man thrown into despair by those great honey-colored ramparts at your ear. I love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair, but I can get a hair dye and set such a color there, a brown or black or carrot, that young men in despair may love me for myself alone and not my yellow hair. I heard an old religious man but yesternight declare that he had found a text to prove that only God, my dear, could love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair. The earth's yellowness is autumn's blunder, and the yellowness of my heart is the absence of beloved. Yellow has never been a good color for me, but what has grown on me. I like it more in my old age, as everyone is nicer to me when I am yellow. Longfellow, how vainly men themselves amaze to win the palm of the oak or bays, and their incessant labors see crowned from some single herb or tree, whose short and narrow verge shade does prudently their toils upbraid, while all flowers and all trees do close to weave the garlands of repose. A fair quiet has as I found thee here, and innocence by sister dear mistaken long. I sought you then in busy companies of men, your sacred plants, if here below, only among the plants will grow. Society is all but rude to this delicious solitude. No white nor red was ever seen so amorous as this lovely green. Fond lovers cruel as their flame, cut in these trees, their mistress name. A little at last they know or heed how far these beauties have hers exceed fair trees. Whereas your banks, your barks I wound, no name shall but your own be found. When we have run our passions heat, love hither makes its best retreat. The gods that mortal beauty chase, still in a tree did end her race. Apollo hunted Daphne so, only that she might laurel grow, and Pan did after siren speed, not as a nymph, but for a reed. What wondrous life in this I lead, ripe apples drop about my head, the luscious clusters of a vine upon my mouth do crush their wine, the nectarine and curious peach into my hands themselves do reach, stumbling on melons as I pass, with flowers I fall on grass. Meanwhile the mind from pleasure less withdraws into its happiness to mind that ocean where each kind does straight its own resemblance find, yet it creates transcendent these far other worlds and other seas, annihilating all that's made to a green, a thought and a green shade. Here at the fountains, a sliding foot, or at some fruits trees, a mossy root, casting the body's vest aside, my soul into the boughs does glide there like a bird sits and sings, and then wets and combs its silver wings until prepared for longer flight, waves in its plumes and various light. Such was the happy garden state, while man there walked about a mate after a place so pure and sweet, whatever help could yet be meet, but 'twas beyond a mortal share to wander solitary there to paradises 'twere, and one to live in paradises alone. How well the skillful gardener drew of flowers and herbs, this dial knew, where from above the milder sun does through a fragrant zodiac run, and as it works, the industrious bee computes its time as well as we. How could such sweet and wholesome hours be reckoned but with herbs and flowers? By forever colorful rapper, freestyler.